KUGAN, CASSIUS, iFL TV, MTK Global in Sheffield here. I'm joined by Sonny Edwards. How are you, mate?
I'm all good, KUGAN.
You seeked me out today, didn't you?
Yeah, I seeked you out today,
Well,
yeah.
I seek you out, you seek me out.
Well, I was meant to see your other half, James. He dropped me a message. I was meant to see him, but ended up not going back to London this weekend, so here I am.
While we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you did watch the interview James did with Paddy Barnes the other day.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's on my Twitter, it's not on his Twitter. He
Right.
hasn't reposted it. I don't think he liked that interview.
Right, okay.
Look on his Twitter. It's not
I
there.
haven't noticed that.
Nowhere to be, no likes, no mentions, no replies.
But yeah, your response to what Paddy was saying, Sonny.
Yeah. Well, who the fuck is Paddy Barnes? Like, I understand what he's saying, like, right from the off, and I've never hinted otherwise. If Paddy Barnes can land a fight with Sho Kimura, then why would he even think about my name? And I wouldn't even mention his name if he can get the Sho Kimura fight or a world title fight. But, and that's a big but, because Kimura looks set to fight in a big fight in Japan. I don't know his opponent, but that's from what I understand. That's what he looks set to do. So if Paddy Barnes hasn't got an opponent and can't find a meaningful opponent, then his excuses don't wash with me, personally. He's been talking, and if we quote your interview, KUGAN, or James' interview, 10th. He labels himself as 10th for the WBO. As a pro, he's ranked 10th, so why won't Kimura fight him? Well, in the same breath, he said, I've done nothing. I'm ranked 15th at the weight above, at super flyweight. And I hold the title, the WBO European title, at the weight above, even though I'm naturally a flyweight. So, for him to say that I've done nothing as a pro, doesn't really wash, because I'm 5 places behind at the weight above. As an amateur, I fully understand what he's saying. He got 2 Olympic bronze medals, qualified for Olympics the 3rd time. But I believe the Paddy Barnes that we're seeing today in front of us isn't the Paddy Barnes from, was it 2004? 2008, sorry, in 2012. It's not, and I think you could see that from the Paddy Barnes that I was in 2016. I think you can see the difference straight away. So, do I think I can beat him? 100%. I don't think I'd be so confident going in there. There would be no doubts in the back of my mind. Don't get me wrong, I think he's a good fighter. I think he's tough. I think he's quite relentless. But I think you can see from how he's fought in his first 5 pro fights, because we can't look at your amateur career when you're a pro. It's different. The rounds are different. Your opponents are different. The gloves are even different. He got that split decision win against Silvio. I personally thought we lost, and I know a lot of people personally thought they lost. He had the absolute snooze fest against Slavchev when he got lifted up, and that was the only thing that happened in the fight, because he couldn't cut the ring down. Someone of that much experience that he's talking about couldn't cut the ring down when someone was running away from him. Like, why would you struggle against such a raw and anti-opponent if you're so experienced and you're such a high level? And until his last little highlight real body shot that he did, I think it was Nicaraguan with, I'm not too sure. That was a good shot, don't get me wrong, but that kid couldn't move around the ring without tripping over his own feet. So for him to say, oh, Sonny just fought 6 journeymen as a pro, you fought 5 journeymen as a pro, so that's 1 less. I've beaten an unbeaten fighter in Ross Murray, and he was sparring you leading up to that fight. I know that, and I've heard, I'm not going to, but do you know what I mean? We spoke after the fight, so I know he's been sparring you. So, yeah, there's banter and there's jokes, but I'll never take it seriously. I wouldn't be looking down the camera sort of in like a half-threatening manner saying, you've been warned. I've been warned what? What have I been warned? You're going to hit me over the head with something, I'm not looking. Or that someone's going to do me in, because you're not warning me that you're going to fight me. You're not warning me that when we get in the ring what you're going to do to me, because you're making it perfectly clear that that's not going to happen. And yet you say in one breath that it's got to happen in boxing. You don't admire me because calling out has got to happen in boxing. People have got to do that. But if it was anyone else in the whole wide world, it would be fine. But because it's me, you've been offended. Surely if the one person you don't like is calling you out, and you think you can beat her and you're going to batter him and knock him out, whatever, then surely you've got to improve that. If your promoter puts it to you and tries to make that fight, why just be like, no? You know what I mean? He's got people advising him, probably advising him very well, because even though he's saying it's like going to be a whitewash, he's saying it's going to be easy, like levels above, a waste of a 12-week training camp. Even like Steve Lillis on the BoxNation podcast that we both was on last week said he doesn't think that it would be the sort of whitewashing mismatch that Paddy's suggesting it is. And I think, like we're going back to the original point, if Paddy's stuck with an opponent, gets put on a show against to be confirmed, and gets an opponent at a week's notice and it's a journeyman, I don't think his mentality will be able to handle the type of stick that he gets. Because I think one of the reasons he's really getting a bit agitated by it is that there's just as many people are saying, oh, it's a mismatch, Paddy Barnes will knock Sonny out, as saying, oh, actually I think Sonny Edge was all wrong for him, I think he'd outbox him. So there's two sides of the same coin, and it's like, his fans, the only thing his fans can say to me, oh, his level's above you, well, why don't your man prove it? Why won't your man prove it? As simple as that.
Okay. Right, Sonny, I have 9 more interviews to do today.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate your time today. So the last thing I'm going to say to you on this, because I'm sure this will be a little bit of back and forth, which is fine.
This won't be the end.
It's fine. So if you had one thing to say left to Paddy, what would it be now? If you were talking directly to the camera, what would you say?
Straight to Paddy, you say you don't like me, you say there's the true dislike there. If you can't get an opponent, come and let's have a dance. See me in the middle of the ring. Like, because I promise you, I won't be running from you. I'll be changing angles, making you miss all day, but I won't be running. So to use that as an excuse, it's a joke. Because I'm there and I'm ready. And as soon as he, I don't know, we can say, he says that he's not scared because he's called out Sho Kimura. If Sho Kimura doesn't fight you, fight me then. Show that you're not scared. A waste of a 12-week training camp. It'll be the biggest fight of his pro career. It'll be the most recognisable name in his pro career. I would have the highest ranking of anyone in his pro career. So, where's the step back? That's what I'm asking you, KUGAN. That's what I'm asking the fans. Where is the step back? Because that's his whole focal point, is a step back. So that's my question to Paddy Barnes. Where's the step back? You say I do nothing as an amateur? 6-time national champion, GB squad. In my GB debut, beat a world champion 2013 in the same weight class as Paddy Barnes. Where was Paddy Barnes that year? I haven't looked, but I beat the man that won it. Qualified for Rio. Got to the quarterfinals 3 years, three Olympics in a row, and lost to the gold medal every single time in Berjan Zakupov, the Kazakhstan. That was my first and only fight for GB, and I beat him at 20. Where's the step back?
Okay. Sonny Edwards, listen, thank you very much for your time, and like I said, I'm sure we'll catch up with you again soon. So let's see where this leads.
Let's see.
All right, top man.